Boys, today is tomorrow and Mizkif is still in the news. This boy is feeding the streets, alright? Because yesterday, literally, I just uploaded a video earlier this morning, top right hand corner, you guys haven't seen, because Mizkif is now suing Emeru, obviously, Asmongold, his old organization OTK, Mythic Talent Agency, and something called King Game Lab. I don't know what that is. I tried looking it up. I seriously don't know what it is. But yes, in the video that I uploaded earlier this morning, I actually made it yesterday, last night. I was up to like 1 a.m. making it, but then I was like, should I release it at 1 a.m.? And then, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of regret it. I feel like I took way too long releasing it. I released it way too late. Everyone else had their little videos out before me, even though I was the first one on the scene. But moving on, because now we're moving on to how he seems to be hiding a little bit of evidence, all right? Because this man got banned on Twitter. Well, not fully banned, more or less restricted, because you can still view the profile, but Twitter is now giving out this caution that's saying that this person is doing something extremely weird with their account. So Mizkif is doing something dastardly with this damn thing. So it says, caution, this account is temporarily restricted. You are seeing this warning because there has been some unusual activities from this account. Do you still want to view it? So, yeah. It seems like he's trying his best to mass delete any and everything off of his account, and Twitter's just like, alright, this is getting weird. But so far, the changes to Mizkif's Twitter account seems to be very minuscule, alright, because the only thing he's changed so far is the bio. You know, he took out, owner of OTK, Starforge, and all that, because he's now no longer owner of any of that. Alright, they took that away from him. They said, you've been a bad boy, we take your toys away. But for some reason, he also got rid of his business email, which I'm just like, why? Why would you delete your business email? I mean, like, what? Does OTK own your own Gmail, brother? I'm surprised he ain't put in the lawsuit. They took this motherfucker's Gmail. I'm like, hell, if you're gonna be suing for everything, you might as well get it all back, brother. You're like, hey, man, give me the Gmail too. Come on, hand it over. Like, bro, what is this? But, literally, midway through me recording this, there is now a new update to his literal bio. Alright, I guess he's noticed that people saw that he's doing weird shit with his Twitter account, because Twitter told us he's doing weird shit with it. And he changed the bio again to still owner now in lawsuit. So yeah, this man is not taking his own lawsuit seriously, brother. He's not even taking his own lawsuit seriously. He's already making the same stupid jokes. He's probably gonna make it in the courts. He's gonna be like, Judge, come on. Bro, she said I essayed her. No, she recounted a story about how you put your hands in her pants without her consent, Mr. Ronaldo. She didn't specifically say it, you essayed her at all. Judge, come on, Judge. Come on, Judge, come on. What about them kicking me out of OTK? Well, you did make discouraging remarks about, your own business, and that was against their TOS. Did you not make those remarks? Come on, Judge. Come on. It was just a joke, Judge. Which, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this man said this about streamers in general and OTK.
Can you, get less hate?
Well, yeah, if I get my reputation back.
Right, okay.
But I don't know how to get my reputation back, because I feel like I'm so far in the deep end, I might as well keep swimming. You smell me? Fuck streamers. Fuck all of them.
Yep.
Fuck everybody. Fuck FaZe Clan. Fuck the fourth floor, fuck OTK, fuck everybody. I'm just gonna start being a solo streamer. I never needed anybody, they needed me. At the end of the day, I was always supporting them, but they never supported me at the end. So fuck all these people, bro.
We should just do a therapy session.
And that wasn't it. Alright, he didn't just say fuck OTK. He then went on to an interview with Graham Stephan and said, yes, OTK was an absolute failure. No one wanted to buy it. It is worthless. That's the reason why we all stopped working or just doing things in general at OTK.
So you started a gaming organization back in 2020 called OTK. I'm curious, was that profitable, and what was the purpose behind doing it?
So OTK, the point of it was to basically create an org where we all make content together, and then we would one day sell the org, right? We wanted to sell OTK to a company where it's like, hey, you're in charge of this now. and we basically take a step back at around this time of my age. I was like, I'm around when we're all 30, 35, whatever. We take a step back. There's new young blood in the OTK sphere, and we just basically chill. Well, that failed miserably because the truth is, orgs in general, just no one wanted to buy it. And it makes sense why you don't want to buy it, right? In 2018, it was such a hot word, org, group. 100 Thieves sold for $100 million or something like that. They made a ton of money off that deal. But when we got in too late. And all the companies started becoming smart. And they're just like, okay, well, because it was me and Asmon were the two biggest people. They're like, okay, but what happens if Mizkif and Asmon take a huge break? And we're like, oh, well, that won't happen. Well, Asmon did for 8 months. They know that. They're like, when Asmon took a break, you guys lost a lot. What happens when one of your streamers gets canceled? What happens when there's a controversy? It you over the whole business. So unless you guys are squeaky clean Teletubbies, you're basically asking for this to be a failure, and no one took the bite. We did not get – we got the truth is it just didn't make sense for anyone to ever purchase. And it didn't make sense to really run and operate. So now it's very small. I don't do OTK anymore because I moved here. They're all in Texas. But the thing is we still have Mythic Talent, which is our agency. It's an umbrella, so it's under it. And we do have Starforge systems, Starforge PCs. They're huge.
You know, OTK used to put on these productions and shit, and they very much slowed down a lot in the past few years because, like, again, they wanted to build up this organization to sell it to someone. But that's like saying you want to start up your own music label, get as many songs as you can, and then sell it off to one of the bigger labels like Sony or like 300 or some shit like that. But all the artists own the copyright and the masters to their songs. So you just have to sit there and like, what are the bigger labels gonna get out of your label? If all the artists own the royalties to their own songs, it's like you lost the leverage you had on these people. On top of that, you lost any amount of like things you built up because like what are they gonna buy? What company would buy a streaming organization? That makes zero sense. It's not like streamers have like songs where people are playing them or videos where people are playing them over and over again. Usually stream content is like very, very quick, right? You put it online and it dies within like a couple of days, max a week, right? The viewership just disappears. If you're anyone in finance, you'll look at those like statistics and know that once they're done streaming and making anything for OTK, it's over. The whole entire thing implodes unless they actually are able to sign on new talent, which, by the way, for some reason each time the new talent keeps getting ownership in the company, which I'm just sitting here like, brother, what kind of company is this? Everyone can't have ownership in it. Like, what kind of company is this? On top of that, they were very exclusive with what streamers they would allow to bring on. So it's not like you could be like 100 viewer Andy and they would like try their best to prop you up and then give you an OTK contract. No, like, don't get me wrong, they did Next Top Streamer, but for the most part, it was just you already had to be an established streamer. But if you're already an established streamer, what the fuck is OTK gonna do for you? Like, I don't understand why there are all these streaming orgs and why they're trying their best to sell them off whenever in general, the organization should be like reliant. You should be able to just crank out streamers. The whole point of the organization should be to crank out streamers, just like how VTube orgs do. Now, don't get me wrong, VTube orgs are like not very profitable. Well, actually, no, some are very profitable, but also there are some that aren't profitable because like you kind of have to be very vicious as a VTubing organization because you do put a lot of money into your talent. But you can go from being a nobody to one of the biggest streamers out there, like a Guargar. Well, actually, she changed her name to something else, but like, Hololive and, V-Shoujo and all them, they made extremely big people like Iron Mouse, right? And Kason. You can go from being a nobody to somebody by joining one of these VTubing agencies. You can't join a streaming agency and go from nobody to somebody, right? For some reason, streaming orgs just haven't figured out that, we're supposed to just make streamers. That's the whole point of the organization, is to just crank them out. That's how you make your money. If you just keep getting your streamers to stream with your big streamers and crank out new streamers that are underneath your umbrella that you take a cut of. That's how you make money, brother. Literally, they're missing the tiniest, smallest piece of making this one of the more profitable ventures in content creation, which is cranking out streamers. Which, if you guys don't know, you could be like a 500 viewer Andy, and you could probably take home a couple thousand, if not, depending on if you are or are not a female. All right, let's just call it a spade a spade. If you win the genetic lottery, you could probably take home between 6 and 10K a month with just 500 viewers. Like, off of ads and subscriptions and donations, and especially if you start doing events, you can grow really well. So I do not understand why these organizations don't just make talent. For some reason, they want to find established streamers, but if you're established, why would you give up a percentage of your money for nothing? You can just get the same people that are in the organization already to collaborate with you for free. That's another thing. What's the point of the organization if they have no financial stakes in any of the people that they collaborate with? No exclusivity at all. So you just really have to sit there and wonder, why would anyone even think about buying these orgs whenever they are not even thinking about the future of this? Because once all these people, like Mizkif said, retire, what then? These orgs aren't trying to bring in people, and the people they are trying to bring in are already established creators that want nothing to do with these orgs, because you're just going to take a percentage of their money and give them nothing. Now, again, their talent agency, Mythic, and also, Starforge PCs is big, alright, they are growing, but also, if you want to buy those, you probably don't want to have to pay extra for a dead, literal streaming organization, because they're going to be like, well, you gotta buy it all, you can't just buy pieces of it, come on, you gotta buy the whole thing. So something tells me that whatever offers that they would get for like Starforge or whatever wouldn't be good enough, because they would also want to try to sell OTK with it as well, and no one wants to buy OTK. Just like how the judge isn't going to be buying this lawsuit that this boy's trying to levy against Asmongold and Emerald. Click this video right here to see what the hell is going on with Mizkif. But other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.